Hello everyone, Gaara here and welcome to a new deck tech video. Today I'm going to talk about a ladder paladin that I'm using to, if I'm bored with playing like hunter or actually mainly hunter but also priest on ladder or warrior, then I'm playing, decks like paladin. And the thing about paladin is if you play Q paladin, you will face mostly hunters and zoos on ladder. Very rarely you will get like a control mirror like a warrior or priest or something like that. So you have to tag the paladin to beat aggro decks, and the best techie cards for paladin to beat aggro decks are pyromancers, obviously with spells, and MC tag. Like paladin is like the number one candidate to play this card because it's like if your opponent doesn't play more than 3 minions on the board, a paladin usually can deal with it with just like strong minions and the weapons and the Aldo peacekeepers and stuff. So yeah, um, I'm going over the deck list here. I'm playing one humility. Just if I face like a handlock, deck is pretty weak against handlock. I think. Well, you can always win against a handlock as a paladin because you have the qualities, all the peacekeepers and stuff. You have the silence. It's actually pretty strong. But I don't play BGH, which is like a big factor. I just think that handlock has an edge over all control decks. But yeah, if you don't face like handlock, the deck is pretty nice. Yeah, you have to be it's a little bit draw dependent compared to other more stable decks that use undertakers that have like a pretty sick curve, pretty stable curve. So you will lose some games just because you draw like let's say Tyrion Leon hands in Black Knight in your starting hand against an aggro deck, for example. But I'm playing one humility. Just it's a very nice combo card with Stampeding Kodo, and it's overall like it basically deals with a big threat for 1 mana. It's most like when you play against a druid, it also deals like with an innovated Yeti or whatever. It's very nice. The double equality with the Pyromancer, pretty standard board removal as a paladin. The Holy Light, it's very important to stabilize against aggro decks, and a paladin does that in form of healing. I played double silence in this deck just because there's so many Death Rattle minions right now, and yeah, there's just too many targets you have to silence right now. So one owl for the early silence against the Nerubian Egg or Undertaker, or sometimes you can later on you can also, because this card only costs 2 mana, you can combo with something else and play something else in the turn, not just silence with the Spellbreaker. Spellbreaker's relatively expensive. The Pyromancers I mentioned, one Acolyte for card draw. Yeah, Paladin is one of the best classes to play Acolytes besides Warrior. And yeah, just one because two is like too much. You just need like to play so many important cards in Paladin. Paladin doesn't really have a lot of card draw. That's why I play one Acolyte. Yeah, it actually has no card draw besides lay on hands, so Acolyte is usually very nice. And if you play against some Ripper Rook or whatever, and they waste like a poison to kill it, like you, it, it's like free value. Also against control decks, if they use like a spell to kill this card, let's say you play against a Shaman and he uses like a lightning bolt to kill it, you get +1 value, which is already very nice. Although Peacekeeper, the best free drop in the game in my opinion. It deals basically with any threat, free for free, decent stats. I play one Farseer for heal. It heals like other minions, and yeah, it's heal, which is like very important. I don't play many heal spells in this deck, and only the Holy Knight, the Farseer, and the Lay on Hands, just because I don't like the Guardian of Kings at all. It's just it's a very difficult card to play. It's very expensive, and most of the time when you play the card, it will not save you because yeah, you will not be able to play anything else in that turn. Let's say you play against a hunter and it doesn't have taunt, so yeah, you just that late in the game, most aggro decks will be able to deal this much damage one turn after. The MC tech as mentioned is very good against Zoo. Zoo is like one of the hardest matchups for Paladin just because you get overwhelmed that quickly and then you run out of options. And MC Tech helps you to you just get free value. Sometimes it's also very good against Hunter. It's very difficult. Only very few people would play around this card in first place. So yeah, I think in my opinion it's very strong in Paladin deck. Double Shade, just because I really like this card in control decks, because it's like a early game card that guarantees you a trade because your opponent can't attack it, and it plays around Soulfire, for example. Like when you play against a Zoo, you can drop this card and he can't just Soulfire it, which is very important. You can get a trade and then go from there. I really like this card. Double True Silver Champion is one of the best weapons in the game. It's also like a heal. It's very good if you would play like against Freeze Mage or whatever. Consecration in combination with Pyromance and a nice bot clear. One Argus. I think it's very nice. I always liked one Argus in Paladin decks, but it was very hard to get like value out of Argus when you're behind in board, because it's very difficult as a Paladin. But since you play the Shades, you can also play the Argus, like almost guaranteed get like double buff. And Taunts is very good against Argo decks. It's better than heal. One Sentient is a 4-drop because you just to smoothen out the curve, and one Spellbreaker. That's another 4-drop, a second Silence. One Lord Tap, very good against Miracle Rook, especially to protect your board. It's a 5/5 for 5, and with a really good effect. Double Sludge Belcher's best taunt in game. Overall, because you get like a double taunt the Kodos. I play 2 Kodos just because I have the slot. I don't play the Guardian of Kings. Yeah, it has very nice synergy with the other Peacekeeper for late game removal, and nice synergy with the Humility, and it's very good against Argo decks as well. The Sylvanas, best control card in the game. Black Knight, because every single deck plays taunts. I haven't seen a single deck without taunts. Maybe they face Aggro Hunter right now, but almost every deck plays Sludge Belcher, so you will always get value out of the Black Knight. Leon Hands, just as a heal and to refresh your hands if you run out of cards. But it's most of the time very difficult to play this card, like to get value. Only in like slow control matchups against the control warrior, for example, you will be able to play this card. Tyrion is just probably the strongest legendary in the game. So this is my deck. I don't play like any super late game cards just because I play ladder and it's like not a tournament deck. And yeah, it's very fast paced, and it's a little bit weaker to handle because it doesn't have BGH. It doesn't matter against warrior, for example, because yeah, you will be able to deal with warrior cards with Humility and other Peacekeepers. The difference of a handlock is that he plays double owl. If you other Peacekeeper giant, he might silence it, and then he has the giant back. So yeah, this is my deck, and I'm gonna show you some games as well.